Welcome back to the DNA Pest Control Podcast. So everyone knows this month is National Pest Management Month. And I have been doing a lot of episodes with real technicians, which has been so much fun and actually really exciting. So today I have another real tech that is actually out in the field. So Dale Portnoy is from South New Jersey. So just make sure that's right. So Dale, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hi, everyone.
How are you?
I'm good. Just enjoying the beautiful weather that we're having here, making all the pests come out.
Nice. Is it nice and warm?
Yeah, it's about 70 degrees this week. It's going to thunderstorm tomorrow.
Uh-oh. Can you work in the rain?
Yeah, we can work in the rain. We don't typically spray that much, so we kind of stick with dusting or a granular bait that we can put down before it rains if it's not going to be too intense.
Gotcha. Okay. Are there laws against spraying in the rain or just based off of the label?
Based off the label.
Okay.
I don't know too much because I'm still operating under somebody else's license, but we have a lot of agriculture down here in South Jersey, so, the rain is inevitable and you got to treat the crops and everything. So
okay. Well,
I haven't heard anything too much.
Yeah. Well, I want to get into the licensing because I always ask everybody about that because it's so intriguing to me from different states, how everything's run. But Dale, tell me a little bit about you. How did you get into the industry and what are you doing now?
So I got into the industry because I worked for the county government actually for 4 years, and I was a mosquito control tech and I loved it. And then it was just seasonal. So I got into a different branch of the county and I hated it. I worked at a jail and I worked at night and I was a criminal records clerk. So I did some deep thinking and brainstorming and I said, what do I like that, can sustain me? I didn't even know about the pay yet. And here I am. I just applied to the pest control company, a few of them, and did some interviews. And Ehrlich, the company I work for, picked me up. And so far, so good. I did 6 weeks of training before I even went out in the field. And that was some courses that they have and also with other techs. So it was a really good mix of people, hands-on, and information, a ton of information that was thrown at me right off the bat.
And so what made you decide to go into being a technician?
Well, I bought a house about a year ago, and the termite inspector came out, and that's what kind of sparked my interest right off the bat. And then I kind of put it away and didn't think about it, but I thought, what a cool job it is that you can get to go to people's houses, help them out, and it opened my eyes a little bit, and never could I have imagined how rewarding it has been so far, just based off that one experience that I had a year ago up until now.
Okay, that's cool that you and did you talk to him about the pest control industry and like what you need to do to get into it, or?
No, I kind of just watched him, observed him, and always thought, like, what a lucky person, he gets to go around with the real estate inspector, but I didn't know about all the commercial properties that I'd be doing, how big in farmland and public safety that pest control was connected to.
Oh yeah. So then you jumped into it. And so I'm assuming are you trying to be a termite inspector?
No, I have done termite jobs with other technicians, but I'm open to really anything I can get my hands on, I would like to do.
Oh, okay. So you're kind of open for whatever.
Yeah. So I actually am in school right now as well. And my goal is to become, down the line, an entomologist one day.
That is awesome. Oh man, I just talked to a lady from Control Solutions. Have you heard of them?
No, I have not.
Okay. Check the truck or the van. I don't know what you drive. We're on the chemicals, and you might see Control Solution makes some of the chemicals you use.
Okay. I'll definitely take a look because I do look at who makes a lot of our chemicals here in New Jersey.
Yeah, check it out. So, but she's an entomologist. It was really cool. That episode's coming out here in a couple of weeks, but that one was really good. But that's awesome if you can do that.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear it.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you went through your 6 weeks of training. You kind of got into the rhythm of everything. So now you're on your own, right?
Yeah, I've been on my own since the beginning of March.
Congratulations. You're finally free.
Thank you.
You're not riding along with anyone, which is the best.
No, I'm not. But I still, I have great guys that work here with me. So we still talk every day.
Oh yeah. No, you got to hold on to those resources because you run into situations you're not familiar with. You always need that person you can call. So
yes, absolutely.
So you mentioned before we went live that you were still working under someone under their license. So how does that work out there?
So how it works out here, if anybody was listening to Robert's episode, it's kind of similar to how it sounds like in Missouri. You work under an operator's license. For me, it's under my boss's. And then and you have to have a 4-hour training course just to do that right off the bat with New Jersey Pest Management Association. And then from there, I'm going to study for my technician's license so I can have my own license. And then from there, you get all the categories. Like we can do schoolwork categories, structural, I guess, termite, and then there's mosquito categories. And, I don't know how many there are, but that's how it works here.
Okay, so that's cool. So you kind of do you have a license, or you just have to take that 4-hour class and then you can work under somebody?
I have a license and I have a number for it.
Okay.
And then once I take the test, which I believe is like 125 questions for general pest management.
Gotcha. Okay. So it sounds a little similar to California. You get an applicator's license, which is like 75 questions. There's not like a course you take, but you just have to pass the test. And then you can start getting your branch 2 or branch 1 or branch 3, and then it kind of splits up from there. But okay, so that's cool. So now you're working towards getting your technician license with, I'm assuming, just like structural pest.
Yeah,
category.
Like I said before, I'm going to try and get any type of pest, and I'm interested in getting the mosquito, which is called 7A licensing, termite if I can, and then I know like they have the ornamental type of technician license as well. So my company does all that type of stuff for you, which is nice, but just because I like to know about everything, I'm going to definitely look into it more for myself so I know what I'm getting into.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's great though. I mean, you definitely need to find that out on your own to see what you like too.
Yeah.
So from that, so you get your technicians, and then can you have people work under you at that point if you have a technician license, or is there a license that's above that allows you to have people run under you?
I think that somebody would be able to be working under me. And I'm sorry, I should say it's just called an applicator's license. I said technician's license, but it's called applicator license here too.
Oh, gotcha.
But so I think somebody would be able to, but I'm not 100% sure yet because I haven't gotten quite into it.
Okay. Now I want to ask a little bit, because we talked, and I know because we talked about this before, that you talked to the lady exterminator, Melissa. And she kind of talked a little bit when our very first episode with her was kind of women in the pest control industry.
Yep.
And the upcoming episode with her is actually really great. But I want to know what kind of struggles or hoops that you had to jump through, or if there were any, being a woman in the pest control industry.
So I come from, like I said, the county government, and I actually was a truck driver as well. So I have dealt with being the only woman in types of industries for my whole working life, kind of. And I haven't had many struggles. Customers welcome me with open arms. My job now at Ehrlich, I'm the only woman, and they have told me I'm a breath of fresh air, basically. So everybody's super supportive. They don't see me any different. Same with my customers, and if they do, I kind of just show them I'm there to educate and take care of whatever problem, and it flows from there.
Oh, that's good. That's awesome to hear that you haven't had any issues whatsoever. That's really awesome.
Yeah, I think it is what you make it. Also on on the same length of that.
I do too. I believe that 100%. I think sometimes we create scenarios in our head that may not be true.
Yeah.
And I've seen that in quite a bit of situations where people think somebody is treating them in a different way when it's not actually that. So I'm glad that you do look at it more in a positive way and you kind of take it as it is, not as what you think it could be.
Yeah, anybody can tell you that you can't do something, but it's your job to say, I'm going to do it anyway.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I think this industry, does need more women in it. And I wish there were more, to be honest with you. I think it would put, a whole new twist to what we can do and how we can think about things. And so I'm happy that you actually found, enjoyment in the industry and you're sticking with it and you're learning and you're getting licensing. And that's going to push you so much further than so many other people, which is amazing. So I'm really happy for you that you're doing that. And I'm excited to see where you go.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited too. And I would love to see more females in the industry as well. I'm always encouraging anybody at all, just try it. You never know what's going to happen. The biggest comment I generally get now that I'm thinking about it is I have a lot of older customers and they always think that I'm the sales specialist when I call ahead of my appointment. And I say, no, it's me. I'm going to be coming to your house. But, they're usually delighted about it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, and I guess that's kind of, in general, more women are in the office making the phone calls. And
so I always think it's funny.
Yeah. When they hear that, they instantly just think, oh, maybe it's just the office, but that's cool that you show up or you're like, no, I'm the one.
Yep.
So is there anything that freaks you out? Rats, spiders, cockroaches?
Believe it or not, my biggest thing is, and I'm going to have to get over this fear, is when yellow jackets or hornets, are buzzing around me. But I have my bee suit, so it's a fear I'll overcome. But no, I've got to go in really tight crawl spaces sometimes. And no, nothing too much bothers me.
Really?
As long as I have my personal protection on my hands and everything, and nothing's going to actually directly touch me. Nope, I'm fine with it all.
Oh, well, hey, you're better than me because one thing I will never get over is rats. Dead rats, picking up dead rats. It always.
Oh, really?
I do it. I can do it, but every time it's just like, ugh,
I feel bad, but I think that my previous lifestyle as a trucker, kind of, because I used to have to pick up roadkill. And mosquitoes control you have to walk in swamps, and I had, muck boots and all that type of stuff really prepared me and made me tough skinned towards it.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you're doing it, and I think eventually, I will kind of build that, kind of where it doesn't bother me, but man, it's just one thing. It's just every time I'm like, ugh.
I'm a little bit of a strange person because I actually I will collect the skulls of like my mice and my rats I've caught.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And, I'm into taxidermy, and I think that the, bone structures of all those small creatures are really interesting and neat to study.
Hey, you know what? We need those people in this world though, because without them, we wouldn't know half of the stuff we know. So I am behind you 100% if you want to do that.
Yeah. So it's a little weird. I don't tell my customers that, but we also use, if I have a mouse that I killed in a snap trap, we put it in our garden for fertilizer.
Hey, but that's, I'll be honest, that's a lot better than just chucking it in the garbage and then it just stinks.
Yeah, some things are inevitable, but if I clean my truck out at the end of the day, which I generally do every day, I kind of know what bag I had my mouse in because I have huge warehouses that, in the mechanical rodent traps catch a lot of stuff, and I just put them in the garden and give it new life.
Hey, that's totally fine. That works. That's the whole purpose of, I guess, life. You're gonna die eventually, and you go right into the ground.
Yeah, I'm going to have a bad time today, though, because I had a rough day yesterday, and my truck is filled with stuff, and it is hot out today, and I haven't gotten out there yet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that will be fun for a later time.
Yeah, now I might wear a good N95 mask or something to try and deter the scent a little bit.
Oh, and that's the thing with like rodents that the dead smell, that is something that every technician knows. You know the smell of a dead rat. You walk into a place, you smell that, you caught something right away.
Absolutely.
Oh,
100%.
Yeah, that smell sticks with you for life. I cannot get that out. But I mean, it's a good thing.
I did we're doing a large bed bug job on a kind of seedy motel in a downtown area over the next few weeks. And me and my boss were laughing about there is definitely something in the wall besides a bed bug. And it's not living.
Oh, you can smell it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man. So, because you're new to this, so you're new to bed bug treatments, cockroaches, everything.
Yep, everything besides mosquitoes I'm new to. And I just caught my first rat actually last week, so I was pretty proud of myself for solving that problem for the customer.
There you go. Okay, what did you put on the trap?
So I actually put beef jerky on the traps that I set up, and I set them up I always do 2 in a row, a little bit spaced out. And this rat was cookie. I was at her house, a few days in a row because it kept jumping the trap and not getting in it. And she said it even dragged it. So I tied my trap to the table leg, put beef jerky in there, and I caught him.
Nice.
Or her. I'm not sure what it was.
No, but that's good because a lot of technicians, and I'm glad you did that, is if you try something and it doesn't work, you've got to switch it up. You have to change what you're doing, how you're doing it, even what you're putting in the trap. I typically, my go-to is always chunky peanut butter.
Okay. Make them work for it a little bit.
Oh, yeah. No, and you get if you have the, oh my gosh, I can't even think of the brand right now. The Victor Snap Traps with the yellow trap on it. And you just...
Yep, that's what we use.
Oh, yeah. No, you get the chunky peanut butter and you push the peanut into the little cube where you can put the bait.
Yeah.
Oh, it gets them every time. I love it.
Yep. Yeah, I do that. I'll do that. So I was lucky enough that I came into my job and the route I have was somebody who just had retired after 25 years. So I kind of got some of his equipment, and that's how I discovered the beef jerky. But he also used to use a piece of a corn, like a corn, unpopped kernel, and glued it on there with a little bit of peanut butter, and that's how he would get his mice and rats.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and there's so many ways to do it. You have to switch it up. But if you're not catching anything and they're jumping over the traps, putting 2 together, we like doing one. I'm sure you know it, but I'll say it. So we call it roulette, where you set some of them and some of the other ones are unset, but they look like they are. Oh,
I never heard of that method.
Oh, I'm going to blow your mind right now. Okay. So it's a fun one. So you can do it a couple ways. So, and we just ran into an issue out here in Sacramento. There's a guy who has a ton. His garage is full of these things. And we caught a few, but now they're starting to get smart and they know the traps obviously kill us. So we had to unset all of them. So we unset all of them, put a ton of bait, peanut butter on all of them, and we're training them to get used to going to the traps to eat off of it. And then what you'll do is, and then after a week, you'll go back, you'll set them, and then they're already used to eating off of it. So they'll go back there like, hey, that's not going to hurt me. And then they'll start eating off of it, and boom, you catch them. The other way is you do roulette. So you go into a house, if you don't know if there's been rats in the past, or they've tried to set their own traps or whatever, we do roulette. We'll set out a ton of traps. We'll set some, and others will not be set. So if the rat goes to one, eats off of one, hey, I didn't go off. The next one should be safe. It'll hit the next one, boom, snaps, gets them.
That is a super helpful tip that, is gold right there. So I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because especially because rats, I have learned now are afraid of new things. So
Yes.
seems like that's a good way to get them.
Oh, 100%. And if you want to talk to your manager or bosses or whoever, there's something really cool that they do. They do it on the West Coast and they do it on the East Coast. So it's called the Rodent Academy. And I did that 2 years ago, and they did the West Coast Rodent Academy, and they have an East Coast Rodent Academy. And so
what's it consist of?
Everything about rodents. They put you into scenarios. So they bring out, they had like trailers they set up. And what they did is you showed up to these trailers and they would say, okay, what would you do in this scenario? And they would have little rat droppings everywhere. And and then you go through a scenario of what you need to do. And then they'll go to buildings and they'll say, okay, you're going to go around this building and essentially quote the building. You're going to try to find out all the holes, all the entry points, and then they have experts there talking about rodents' behavior, what they're doing, why. I mean, everything you can think of. My mind was blown when I walked out of that place.
Yeah, that sounds incredible, and especially for somebody like me who's hands-on, anybody who's hands-on, that sounds like they should have every type of academy, and they probably do.
Yeah, and I just find this stuff randomly, and then I just jumped on it. But that one was a huge help because they essentially show you different methods of trapping, how to do certain things, what their behavior is. So you learn so much about the rodents that when you're going back into a situation, it makes it easy. It's a cheat code. Now,
it makes it real life.
Oh yeah, I go into situations now, and it's not even a question. I know I'm going to get rid of it. And everybody loves it because we get rid of their problem within 30 days of showing up. 100%.
That is incredible.
Done. Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yeah, so definitely look at it. It's just Rodent Academy. You could go online, and I don't know if they're doing, if they've opened that up because of COVID and everything, but that one's an awesome one. If you can get your bosses to send some people out there to do it, that one's fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to look into it because the more you know, the better, right?
Oh, 100%. And so with you being in the industry, you have a couple months underneath your belt. What crazy experience, what has happened? What has just been like, holy crap, that was nuts that you've seen, whether it was with rodents, bed bugs, roaches, whatever?
So probably my first roach job, which it was in a town called Atlantic City. I'm not sure if people know what that is, but it's like the casino area and it's pretty run down. So we went to a senior living apartment, high rise, that stopped their pest control service for 5 months because of COVID. Oh. So when we had, the service restarted, they were having some serious roach issues. And that was the first time I went out with all my ops managers and kind of got to know everybody. I'm brand new and, they're showing me how to search for roaches at this place. And I just had my hair was down. Bad move right off the bat. So,
oh, no.
Cause they're all men, they didn't think about, how that can actually affect your work. Cause you don't want to be sticking your head in cabinets and roaches getting on your hair.
Oh,
but,
no.
that's not anything super crazy, but I learned that day, hair and braids, if you're going to be sticking your head anywhere near toilets, cabinets inside, and just all the people that come out when you go there, you're the exterminator and they're all coming out to see what's going on.
Oh no. And you had roaches in your hair then?
Yep.
Oh,
pretty much.
You didn't take any of them with you, did you?
No, absolutely not. No, I went the first bad apartment I went into, I came out and I was like shaking myself off, put my hair up and that now I know better. But so just something if any other women are getting into the industry, things that you didn't think that you were going to have to think about, just simple weird things like that. Also I've unfortunately left my equipment on somebody's porch before, they have to call you and I come back and get it. So silly stuff like that's happened to me. Some of my favorite things though are my older customers, and they're just so funny out here in the farmland. they're full of spunk, especially my old ladies who live by themselves.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you have a ton of fun out there with them.
Yeah. So not anything super crazy yet.
Oh, but no, just wait. That's I always tell everybody, you think you saw the worst that you could have seen, and then there's something else. And
I definitely believe that.
Oh yeah, no, it's crazy. And I mean, after talking to Robert, he was one that has way more. I mean, it's crazy what he's seen, but I haven't seen nearly as bad as him, but it is crazy. You think you see something bad, and then you come into a next situation, you're like, oh my gosh, it's even worse.
Yeah, well, he hit on, finding a dead body, and that's actually not something that's strange to me, because in mosquito control, we would go on all these really long back roads in the woods and everything for vector control, looking at the, regular population of mosquitoes where humans are not. And we would find, mosquito control in my county had found around 4 bodies over the past 25 years.
Wow. And have you personally found one?
No, I haven't personally found one, but I've come close to thinking I found one when I was in a ditch one time, and I felt something brushing up against my leg in the water, because, you have to clean out the ditches for the water maintenance.
Yeah.
And I pulled it up, thought it was a stick, and it was a dead deer.
Oh.
So, yeah, that wasn't fun, and I don't think you would probably like that if you're not fond of, the dead critters. That was a pretty bad day.
Oh, yeah. And you like the whole body was in there?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And
like I said,
it didn't stink?
I'm tough skinned. Oh, it was winter time.
Oh, okay. So you got lucky.
Yeah, yes. I got extremely lucky with that.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I got unlucky, but lucky for the situation, I suppose.
Oh man, I can't even imagine, coming across such, you're just hanging out in, what was it, like knee deep water? Yeah,
that we have all these ditches in the woods out here that control the water because the water table gets really high.
Yeah.
And so to keep the streams running, you're in there cleaning out in the winter time, October, November type time of year. So it gets filled with leaves and gunk, and that's when they would do that type of work.
Oh, and you have to go through and clear it all out, and you got hit with the deer.
Yeah, I got hit with the deer leg, so that was a joke for a long time.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, that's awesome though. I mean, I'm excited for you to get more. So we'll do another episode for sure in a couple months after you've been out there, you're getting really into it. Oh, because I'm sure you're going to have some awesome stories.
So my first week, though, this was a nerve-wracking story. My first week, I do a warehouse that services convenience stores. And I get there, and the contact says that she usually goes around with, the person who does the account. And it's a few warehouse buildings with, are you familiar with the catch-all trap?
Yeah.
It's old school, it has the top that slides off. Well, I never came across any of those in my training, and I did not know how to open it. And on top of that, they were really rusted. So I was like sweating with this woman behind me. I kind of didn't know what to do. I asked her if I could step aside and call the person who serviced the account before, and I did, but I felt really stupid that day. But since then, I had that account, and I bought some all 3-in-1 oil, and oiled those traps up, and now they run smooth, and it fixed the problem. She was happy.
Hey, but you did exactly what everybody needs to do as a new technician in the industry. It's don't be shy to step away. Don't be shy to call someone. Even when I first got into the industry, I had a live rat that had 2 traps on it. It got hit with its hind legs and then on one of the front. And it dragged 2 traps into a corner, and I thought it was dead. And I was going to grab it, and it started freaking out.
Oh no!
Yeah,
that would give me a scare.
And yeah, and I had the manager at these storage units right behind me, and he's watching me this whole time. And I'm like, how can I grab this thing? Because I'm freaking out. Because I'm like, I've never dealt with a live rat. I'll pick up dead rats, but a live rat? This is crazy.
Yeah, and they can be nasty.
Yeah, well, I actually had him go get a shovel, so so we picked it up, threw it in a bucket, but I was like, I'm not touching this thing. I don't even know what to do, and I'm not going to step on it or anything. Like, that is just not in front of the manager. I'm not going to kill it in front of the manager. So, but luckily he was cool about it. But yeah, don't be shy to step away and call someone, or, for anybody who's listening, that's something so crucial. Just, step away, find someone who knows what's going on and call them, ask them what they would do, and really just get the answer.
Yeah, no, I always do that. And all of the guys that I work with are super knowledgeable, and we're always open with sharing, different types of methods that we've discovered. They even trust in me as a new person. They come to me and ask what I've been doing. So it's really refreshing and nice to have that good communication between everybody.
Oh yeah, it sounds like you're surrounded by some really good guys. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what else would you tell someone who's new, just getting into the industry? What would you warn them about? What would you tell them about? Just anything. What would you say?
I would 100% off the bat be honest with your customers. A lot of customers that I have are nosy and, oh, when did you start? And at first it was intimidating, but I had to tell them I'm new, because I don't want them to hear that from anybody else, because they all talk in the neighborhood. So be honest and also educate yourself. I'm like Robert, who was on the last episode. I stay up at night and go on YouTube and any type of pest control website, and I'm looking at how my chemicals work, harbored areas for certain types of bugs that I've never seen, and just being into it and being in the moment. And also not panicking when you have a very heavily packed day. Just take one appointment at a time and focus on that person and give them your full attention, so you don't have to go back for an extra service, and that you're confident in your treatment and can walk away at the end of the day and feel that relief of that you help people and did things the correct way.
Well, that was well said and well put. And anyone who is new or even has experience, that is amazing that you're going on YouTube, you're doing, the due diligence, you're studying, you're being consistent with it, because that really makes, an amazing technician. Because I know that everybody hears, oh, this company sucks. And unfortunately, I doubt it's the company. It's more than likely the technician. And they're just being lazy. And so I doubt there's really a crappy company out there. It's a technician that sucks.
Yeah, that goes back to it is what you make it. And, when I have a lot of questions, and I know that my bosses, because you have an episode about kind of taking stuff off somebody's plate, I'm not sure if you remember that episode that you've done, but kind of what can I do to be of help to the company and everything. And I took that along with me. So now I know that my boss is very busy. So if I have a ton of questions, because I'm going to ask them, and they want me to ask them, but I kind of write them down throughout the day and text them, you got a minute, and ask them all my questions for the day if it's not urgent. And it's worked pretty well so far.
Oh yeah, no, that is something that everyone needs to know and not to shy away from, is being humble enough to say, I don't know. And to be able to ask someone, your superiors, your bosses, the operator, the owner, because at the end of the day, me being an owner with technicians who call me and ask me questions, I never look at them as, oh, you're stupid, you're dumb, why are you calling me? I never look at it as that. I look at it as this person's putting in the effort to grow and to become something better. And that person is eventually going to be someone I'm going to rely heavily on. And that's going to be the person I'm going to choose for anything, that comes up, whether it's management positions, whatever it may be. Those are the people I look for. So,
yeah. And I think everybody should want to be that type of person in general, because if you're not trying and learning new things every day, then it takes the fun out of it as well.
Oh, 100%. So, Del, is there anything that you want to ask me before we end?
So I was thinking of some questions I wanted to ask you, and I really only came up with one because, we all talk about the good stuff in pest control and the fun, exciting stories. So I wanted to know, is there any advice for anybody new of something that you've done that you wouldn't do now?
As like service wise, or just in pest control, just general, or like
Maybe general, even, rushing through appointments and at the end of the day realizing that it's not the best thing to do. Or I don't know how you started really in the pest industry, and what have you learned, just an experience that really stuck out to you that you would recommend not to do to anybody, I guess.
Yeah.
I can word that really well.
So I would say, I mean, that there's a few things that I can think of, but so how I got into it is I kind of got thrown into the position. I wasn't actually even looking to be a technician when I first started. So my situation was a little bit different because I was actually a salesman. I knocked doors. That's all I did.
Okay.
I was signing people up. I didn't do the tech work. And a lot of the stuff I learned were from technicians that were doing my jobs that I signed up.
Okay.
But one thing from running a route and going through, because no one ever taught me. None of the technicians actually sat down, here, this is what you need to do. This is how you do it. These are the dilution rates. This is what's worked for me. This is what didn't work for me. No one ever taught me that. So I had to go and figure it out on my own. Everything. I was reading labels. I was trying to figure out how to treat for ants, trying to treat for cockroaches. I pulled all, whoever would give me information, I pulled their information and kind of molded it, into what our services are today, which work really well.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. One thing I will always tell every technician, and I wouldn't say that, don't ever think you know everything.
Okay, which is, that is a very good piece of advice. And some people, it's so simple, but might look past that and not even realize that they do think they know everything.
And that is a huge thing. I don't care if a technician comes in who's only been there a couple months, like in your situation. Don't ever think I've been doing it for 20 years. There's nothing I haven't seen. Or there's, this is the way to do it. It's such an illusion of experience in this industry, of experience to what actually is going on today. I follow a lot of different industries and I follow a lot of different associations in the pest control industry, outside of the pest control industry. And so many things are changing so fast that even in this industry, some things I learned just 4 years ago are obsolete today.
Wow. And that is eye-opening. It really is eye-opening.
And it's crazy. I'm telling you, that Rodent Academy was one. I went to that Rodent Academy and I walked in there like, I know everything about rodents. I already know it. And I sat down and I just kind of sunk into my seat thinking, oh my gosh, everything I thought about rodents is wrong. Everything. I mean, I was blown away.
Yeah, so now you kind of went through them teaching the teacher in a type of way.
Oh, 100%. So now I've always taken it, and I've hired new guys who are fresh to the industry, and I let them know, this is kind of what I do. This is how I do it. You need to find out your way. You need to do your research. You need to figure it out. But I also keep it very open. At my company, I keep everything very open. Everyone can throw in their opinion. Everyone teaches everybody else. And
that's important. We have a monthly meeting that at my company, we do that as well.
Yeah, no, and it is. So just be open to change, open to learning. And even if something you did learn, you think that's it. They can't do anything different. That is the way. No, just wait. It's going to change. Chemicals will change. Products are going to get taken off the market. Something's going to happen to disrupt what you think is the right way and the only way. And it's not true.
And that's why I love your podcast, because you talk about that, and it's very eye-opening and helps you learn.
Yeah. And thank you. And I'm glad that it does help you. The other thing that I would suggest is a lot of technicians, and we're kind of trained, and I know companies out here train this way, is, and we have an episode, and it's one of the most popular episodes I have. It's work. Oh, I'm going to have to remember the title.
Work smarter, not harder.
Yes, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Or work faster.
I've listened to it.
Work faster, not harder. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, and the emphasis on where you can work fast and where you have to, focus on the important detail.
Yes, and that's something that I think is very hard to learn. But that would be the second thing I would say is, as a technician, you do have to be on your toes quite a bit. So like in your situation of leaving a piece of equipment at a neighbor's house or a customer's house, I've done that too.
Yeah, and it's embarrassing.
It is 100%. I mean, I was 20 minutes away, and then the guy calls me. He's like, "Hey, dude, you left your B&G on our front porch." And I'm like, "Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
That's exactly what I did, and it doesn't look good."
No, and so we all kind of have to go through that. But that if you're new into the industry, and to jump over that learning curve, is understand, when you can go fast, when you need to take it slow. When you need to, right before you leave, take a breath. Do I got everything? Check your phone, depending on how you, run. If you're running your phone or running your route through your phone, through an app, I'm always checking my next appointments. I check my day before, the next day. And then I wake up and I check my day again. And then I'm constantly checking my day throughout the day. So there's just little things like that where you just have to learn. It's not a McDonald's job, guys. It's not a warehouse job. You're not sitting in one spot for 8 hours. You don't have someone telling you, "Hey, dude, you forgot that over there." It's not that way. You're constantly on the move. So you do need to take breathers. You need to slow down in moments and, really remember what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I took, some of that advice that you've talked about in other episodes. I actually sit down every night at the end of my day and plan out my day and call each and every customer just to introduce myself since I'm new to my route and about the time frame that I'm going to be arriving. So that's been super helpful and, helps build a good trusting relationship between me, the customer, and my company.
Oh, yeah. No, you are a very unique technician. And so if you ever want to live in California, let me know.
My sister lives there, but down in San Diego.
Oh, okay. Is she a technician?
No, she's not. She's in the nursing field.
Well, if you ever want to live in California, let me know.
Who wouldn't with all your nice weather?
There's positives and there's a lot of negatives. So the weather is one of the positives. But yeah, definitely keep doing what you're doing. It sounds like you're doing amazing and you're going to be an amazing tech. I already assume you're an amazing tech, but you're going to be even better. And so keep that up. Definitely keep doing what you're doing because it sounds like you're doing an awesome job.
Well, I really appreciate that, Daniel. And I'm just always going to keep in the back of my mind. You can always learn more and you don't know everything.
Stay humble. Stay humble.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Well, you have a wonderful day. And I'm telling you, just keep an eye out on your messages because I'm definitely going to have you come on again.
All right. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It was really amazing and awesome to speak with you today.
Yeah. Thanks for being on. You have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. So there you have it, everybody. That was Dell from South New Jersey. You get that was a really fun one because that is someone who literally just got into the industry not even that long ago. Now, on the vector control side, she's been doing it for 4 years, but this is so new to her, and she's now seeing everything that we're going through, and you can even hear that she's taken some of those learning experiences that I've done, and I had to screw up, and she's jumped over those. Some of them she still did, leaving a piece of equipment at someone's house. We've all done it, buckets, whatever it may be. But it's never going to happen again. That's awesome. She learned from that. She's stepping outside of, just being that same old technician that kind of just runs through their route. She's doing something more. She's learning more. She's being better. And so that is amazing that she's been doing that. Take that advice. I don't care how long you've been in the industry. If you guys aren't watching YouTube, you're not learning, you're not getting the magazines I've talked about. I have the best, one of the episodes is the best, God, I hate going back. I've done a few episodes, but on where to find that knowledge. Go and listen to that. Look those resources up. I have an upcoming episode with Control Solutions, Janice, and she goes through so much information and where you can find even more information. Okay, so get ready for that episode. That's going to be awesome. But Dale, thank you so much for being on. I'm super excited for you to be in the industry, and I'm happy that you're sticking with it and you're learning and you're growing and you are being that massive help to your superiors, because that is only going to put you steps ahead of everybody else, I promise. And it's going to be amazing. Just be consistent with it and be patient with it. But thank you so much for listening to the DNA Pest Control Podcast. Remember, you can always message me at DNA Pest Podcast on Instagram. You can email at dnapestpodcast@gmail.com. If you have not subscribed, you can go onto the website and now subscribe to our email. Or if you want to just be a guest, there is an actual section where you can fill out your information and you can be a guest on the podcast. We'd love to hear from technicians that are out there, real people doing this work, not just, not just product people. I want to hear from you guys. I want to know the process that you guys have gone through. I want to know the stories. It's crazy to hear what you guys have seen and what you've been through. So it's awesome. Also, we're still doing the giveaway, so don't forget about the giveaway. So we are still putting out free hats, sticker. Just go on if you subscribe. So there's a couple ways you can do this. You can go onto Instagram, just put in the comments on one of the posts. I'm throwing out new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. And the post, put in there, 3 technician buddies that you may have, and then go subscribe. If you do that, I will reach back out to you and I'll get your information so I can send you a free hat. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free, okay? No money, no down payment, no 7 payments of $10.99. It's all free, guys. Or you can go on to Facebook. So I did a Facebook group. You can go onto Facebook, join the group, and I will grab your information and subscribe as well on the website. But I'll grab your information. I'll send you a free hat. You can always message me if you did that and I didn't reach out to you or I skipped over you. Reach out to me and I'll send you a free hat. But thanks for listening to the DNA Pest Control Podcast.